This attracts high-value women. If you've been wondering how to attract high-value women, you're not alone. Most men are stuck chasing women, overthinking, or even settling for a woman they don't actually want to be with. And the core where that behavior is coming from is the reason why high-value women are not attracted to those men. But you can shift that. So many men today are struggling with low confidence, approach anxiety, fear of rejection, you name it. Most other people are telling you that you just have to look better, have more money, or maybe memorize the right pickup line, or just mimic body language. But all of that I call big bullshit on, because it goes so much deeper. And there's a reason why people that read those books, tried those things, are still struggling to attract high-value women. It does play a role to take care of oneself, but it goes so much deeper and you cannot fake it. Today I will share with you the real core principles on how to attract high-value women. The first core principle might be something that you absolutely not expect, but that is sexual and emotional mastery. In my experience, every woman seeks her needs to be met sexually and emotionally, but especially high-value women that have the most options make this often a high priority and don't settle for less. And they're simply not attracted to men that can't satisfy them in the bed and they can't satisfy them emotionally. As I talked about in other videos on this channel, when you master your sexual energy, that changes how attracted a woman instantly feels to you and that sexual confidence that you radiate. But also on a practical level, women just simply want to know that when they are with this man, that they will actually have a fulfilling intimacy and the man will be able to capacitate for her emotions and hold space for her when she's going through something. Because let's be real, I was like that in the past too. I didn't know how to deal with my own emotions, let alone with that of a woman. And to master being with emotions, holding space for them, and finally stop running from them. Sexual confidence radiates from you when you mastered your sexual energy, when you let go of watching, when you learn to last longer and to truly understand a woman and to satisfy her sexually. And the next point is something that most people never heard about in this context, because all the things on the internet are about superficial quick fixes that don't really work. But this is something that actually multiple high-value women have shared with me, and that is maturity. And let's be real, who of us really had someone that was initiating us from boy to man? Since we didn't have this anymore in the modern age, there's so many problems. Until when I was 29 years old, I was still a boy in a man's body, like most adult males are today. Time does not mature in itself. The right experience does mature. Exposure to certain things that require us to mature does mature. All of this can be traced back to our modern society having lost the sacred ceremonial act of a rites of passage, initiating a boy into a man. So actually our psychology catches up. We let go of being a boy and we truly grow into the maturity of being an adult man. Really unlocking this primal masculine instincts that make us able to fully be mature in the modern world. And at Love Like a King, we have the modern day real rites of passage experience for men in our men's retreats here in Bali. The aspects that I'm talking about here are self-sufficiency, being really responsible for ourselves, for the actions we take, and also taking responsibility beyond ourselves, being aware of the responsibilities that we carry in our relationship, the willingness to commit, to really show up and to lead a woman clearly, but more on that later. The third core principle is something that you can start implementing right away, and that is knowing yourself truly for who you are, what you stand for, and actually firmly standing for it. Once and for all, killing off the people pleaser in you, really finding out who you are, what you stand for, what your values are, and really showing up for that. In the interaction with a high-value woman, you stop trying to get anything from her. You stop trying to get her approval, you stop trying to get sex from her or whatever it is. You are self-sufficient, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you also know how to take care of your own needs. That goes hand in hand with the maturity piece we just spoke about. And this is really not about fixing you, there's nothing wrong with you, but we've been all conditioned to please other people and to just be not 100% clear on who we really are and what we really stand for. And once you actually know who you are, you can finally solve the equation, if you haven't already, why am I here? Then you can find your purpose. And that is one of the things, if you really live your purpose, that attracts high-value women like nothing else. And next point is have standards and actually live up to them. We're talking inner work, healing work, personal growth, nutrition, fitness, and also building your career or business. It's really about showing up, not just when it's comfortable, but consistently showing up for what you stand for and living up to your standards. Building a solid life that you love and that a high-value woman is more than happy to come along with on that journey with you. And where she can be in her feminine and she doesn't have to remind you of actually taking care of being a high-value man. That might sound mean, but in most relationships when my clients come to me and they have troubles, there's actually exactly that happening. I call it the mama's boy syndrome, and I was myself in that until I went through my maturation process. I was still sometimes in the little boy or being in this toxic aspect of fighting her, but I wasn't in my mature, empowered masculine where she could just surrender into her feminine. And a high-value woman is attracted to a high-value man that is mature, that knows who he is, what he stands for, and that really lives up to his standards. And it's one thing to talk about stuff and to post on Instagram about it, but it's a whole nother level to actually consistently show up for it, especially when nobody's watching, living up to your standards and up to your potential. That is what a high-value woman is truly attracted to. And she can feel it that you are living this consistently, and if you don't, she's not interested. Because in my experience, high-value women are done playing the mama for the little boy, and they want to have a man that can take care of them, that can lead them, and where she can actually surrender into her feminine and enjoy and blossom like that. The next core principle is getting crystal clear on who you actually want to be with. And much more importantly, on how you really want to show up as to match that. Who do you need to be to actually match that perfect woman that you want to be with? I want to give you one exercise right here. Writing down all the traits of this goddess that you want to be with. Her body, her energy, her personality, what she loves, what she's like, how nurturing and feminine and beautiful she is in all sorts of ways. You can go super specific because there's billions of women, and believe me, I was writing all of this down before I met my now fiance, and she has all of that and more. But what I did after that, I was writing down, okay, who do I want to show up as? What do I want to provide to her? What do I want to give to her as a high-value man? That, in my experience, is what's required to really attract high-value women. And then, just like in the previous principles, writing that down and actually becoming it and actually being it. Not playing it, not faking it, but doing the real work, the real steps that it really takes to become that. That is what naturally attracts the high-value women to you. You really let go of just trying to get with any sort of kind of beautiful woman that's maybe kind of interesting, and you really know who you want. And you start to choose and you stop chasing. If you thought about this right now or you wrote it down and there's a big gap between the high-value woman that you want to attract and how she really is like and who you are today, then fair enough, brother. There's nothing wrong with you, but there's work to be done. And that cannot be faked and avoided. But I can 100% guarantee doing the healing work, stepping into maturity, for example, for a rites of passage experience, and really finding out who you are, what you stand for, setting higher standards and consistently living up to them, it's 100% worth it. Not only what it does on how to transform your whole life, but you will naturally attract more high-value women. I want to give you one more core principle that you can take away that will also make sure that once you attracted a high-value woman, that you can actually keep her. And that is authenticity and leadership. If you're faking it and you somehow faked and manipulated yourself into a relationship with a high-value woman, which I don't really believe that happens too often anymore, but you will not be able to maintain that. At some point the mask will come off. So what I will highly encourage you from the beginning on, be real, drop the mask, stop faking, stop pretending, and own who you really are. Also, when you're approaching her, when you're meeting her, own how you feel, own your sexual desire even. Own that with heart, with emotional awareness. This really builds on all the previous core principles. So you can actually first and foremost lead yourself clearly and in a grounded, mature way. And also from that place, she will be more than happy as a high-value woman to be led by you. She can only trust your leadership if you're actually mature and grounded and you are leading yourself properly. If you're really implementing the previous core principles, there's not too much to be said here other than you first lead yourself, then you lead her, and that you lead for the best good of her and not for your egoic desires. And she will feel that, she will trust that. And high-value women are massively attracted to men that are authentic and that are leading from a mature and grounded place. Here at Love Like a King, we simply call this leading with balls and heart. And this is in you too. This is your nature. All you gotta do is do the honest work, show up, also when it's uncomfortable. Getting over avoidance patterns, self-sabotage, and just choosing the easy road and trying to get something, letting all that low-value behavior go and stepping into the man that you are here to be. This attracts high-value women.